The following is a presentation of RMG Sports, award-winning championship television.
Race fans, buckle up for Chase to the Checkered. As the division points races heat up, so does the racing. And when the racing heats up, so do the tempers. So grab some ice cream, or some popcorn, or maybe a little chocolate, because Chase to the Checkered starts now.
Hi, my name is Elise Branham, and I'm from Somerset. Race fans, start your engines.
Good morning, race fans, and welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. This week, the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks have the pole on C2C. Number 60, Adam Kostelnik, took off with the lead when the green flag dropped. But by lap 3, division points leader Jason Lasky had crept up on Kostelnik. Lasky came up alongside and pulled ahead with the lead. The battle for third heated up as number 96 Todd Price came around number 20 Josh Kokenauer and took the position. A caution-free race helped Lasky launch out to an incredible lead over Adam Kostelnik and the rest of the field. Jason Lasky won the feature race of the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks. This was the Johnstown driver's 5th win of 2003 at Jennerstown.
I saw Adam get a real good start. I was right there with him going. I don't know what happened on the outside. We took off and went. I wasn't trying to make a move on Adam right away. Wanted to follow him, hoping me and him could break away, and then I'd race him once we got out there. Saw the opportunity, took it. Here we are.
Lasky was followed by Adam Kostelnik, Todd Price, Derek Wink, and Josh Kokenauer in the top 5. His third place finish helped Todd Price to stay close to Lasky in the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks. 10 points now separates the two front runners. 2002 division champ Marion Reno Jr., Josh Kokenauer, and Adam Kostelnik round out the top 5 point getters. Next up, the Jennerstown Speedway Chargers. When the race began, number 02 Mike Stevens and number 27 Greg Praisner were side by side for the front spot. As we approached the halfway point of the race, Stevens lost the edge and Praisner quickly shot out as number 22 Dwayne Knoll came up to challenge for second. Knoll got by a lap later and brought number 74 Phil Grubbs along for third. While this was going on, Praisner was able to jump out to an awesome lead. And with no cautions to slow him down, Greg Praisner maintained his lead and went on to win the Jennerstown Speedway Charger feature. This was the 6th win in 2003 for the Level Green driver.
I was a little nervous going into the feature actually because in the heat race me and the 95 got together over there and going into 3, and I had a slice in my left front tire, and I was a little nervous, so I had to change tire, and I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to react, but it was all right.
I don't know really what happened. I think being under him like that, when I couldn't let the car drift up, it was eating my tires up, and they just got hot, and he come by the one time, and everybody was so close, it was like a freight train. They just all come by me. There wasn't nothing I could do. I drove as hard as I could try and catch up to him, but it was fun, though.
Dwayne Knoll, Phil Grubbs, and Chantal Germick made up the rest of the top 5 in the Jennerstown Speedway Charger feature. His win lets Greg Praisner inch closer to points leader Chantal Germick. 6 points now separate first and second. Phil Grubbs, Mike Stevens, and Rick Phillips make up the rest of the top 5 in Charger points. Coming up on C2C, we've got the highlights of the rest of last Saturday night's action at the Laurel Highlands Oval. Plus, we'll take a look at what's coming up at Jennerstown. But now, let's see if you can make the connection. Brought to you by RaceFansConnect.com, the ultimate place to meet race fans. As you'll see coming up, Dink Colarusso is inching closer to making 2003 at Jennerstown Speedway a record-breaking season. Who holds the record for the most consecutive wins in a season at Jennerstown? Is it Glenn Galt, Steve Pellis, Jeff Dunmeyer, or Barry Oddie? We'll have the answer later on Chase to the Checkered. We'll be right back with more racing right after these words from our sponsors. Race fans, welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. Now, on to the Jennerstown Speedway Street Stocks and Dink Watch 2003. Number 73, Roger Onstead, took off with the early race lead. Number 0, Dink Colarusso, was pinned back in the pack and would have a rough road ahead of him to the front. As they completed lap 4, number 74, Jason Holder, gets too loose and Colarusso swings by on the outside for fifth. 2 laps later, Colarusso would get some help with a caution brought out by a spun number 9, Joe Nicola. The restart saw Roger Onstead again shoot out with the lead as Colarusso resumed his fight to the front. Soon, it was number 33, Jeff Petrini's turn to watch Dink shoot by, taking the 3rd place spot from the Greensburg driver. Number 76, Billy Mostaller, put up a fight, but he got too loose coming out of turn 4, and Dink was ready to strike, taking the 2nd place spot. Onstead was out to a nice lead, and what he didn't need was a caution. Well, you know what happened. Yep, the yellow flew since Joe Nicola and number 08, Bobby Young, were tangled in turns 3 and 4. Onstead moved out with the lead on the restart, but he made the fatal mistake of surrendering the inside groove to Colarusso. This is where Dink does his best work, and he quickly moved alongside of the number 73. After a 2-lap, door-to-door battle, Dink stayed low and got by Onstead for the lead on lap 16 of the 25-lap feature. With 3 laps remaining, number 25, David Tamarina, made contact with the inside retaining wall by the entrance to pit road, bunching everyone back up. But Dink was in front, and he took off with the lead and then the win in the Jennerstown Speedway Street Stocks feature. This was the 12th win for Colarusso in 2003 at Jennerstown.
That last restart, we wouldn't go. I got a miss somewhere, it's missing. Roger should have drove around us on the outside. I was keeping it at the bottom to give him the room. I seen him try it once. I think he'd have rode around us if he'd have stayed on the outside.
Car was hooked up tonight. He got just a little bit loose on hot tires. I didn't need that first caution, and he got underneath me, and I just couldn't. I tried on the outside. It just wouldn't stick for me.
Colarusso and Onstead were joined by Billy Mostaller, Jason Holder, and Bobby Young in the top 5. Dink extended his lead in the street stock points to 40 over Roger Onstead. Jason Holder, Billy Mostaller, and Jason Fritz make up the rest of the top 5. In the ladies' enduro, Susan Lambert won the feature.
But this is my 2nd year.
And would you expect to be in victory lane?
Yes, I did.
She was followed by Amanda Zerfoss, Robin Barnes, and Renee Germick. In the men's enduro, Johnstown's Patrick Parlock took home the prize.
Yeah, it's the maintenance, a little bit of maintenance. You got to make sure you change the oil like a regular car, and whenever you have something mess up on it, it's tough with the fuel injection stuff, try to find exactly what the problem was.
Parlock was followed by Greg Lohr, Corey Snowberger, Bob Enos, and Rick Smith in the top 5. Coming up next on Chase to the Checkered, we'll show you all of the action from the Jennerstown Speedway Modifieds and the Rolling Rock late models. But first, let's see if you can make the connection. Brought to you by RaceFansConnect.com, the ultimate place to meet race fans. Who holds the record for the most consecutive wins in a season at Jennerstown Speedway? Is it Glenn Galt, Steve Pellis, Jeff Dunmeyer, or Barry Audi? We'll have the answer when we come back to Chase to the Checkered, right after this. Race fans, welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. Let's see if you were able to make the connection. Brought to you by RaceFansConnect.com. Who holds the record for the most consecutive wins in a season at Jennerstown Speedway? Is it Glenn Galt, Steve Pellis, Jeff Dunmeyer, or Barry Audi? If you guessed the 100L of Steve Pellis, you guessed right. Pellis had 10 consecutive wins and a total of 15 wins in 1987 at the Laurel Highlands Oval. Dink Colarusso has tied the record and could break it tonight. You could see a piece of motorsports history. The PA Legacy Series has been on a 2-week hiatus and returns to Jennerstown Speedway tonight. Number 24, Jamie Bolkovac, is the current points leader and has been at the top for 5 weeks. The Greensburg driver is followed by Rick Boyer, PJ Ehrlich, Brett Boyer, and Kyle Martell in the top 5 in the PA Legacy Series points. Now, on to the action of the Jennerstown Speedway Modifieds. As the field hit the gas at the race's start, number 45, Bernie McQuillan, has problems and takes it into the wall outside of turn 1. This was a small hint of things to come. Number 42, Racing Jason Bush, held the lead for the first 3 laps. But number 1, Mike Bacalon, powered the Stars and Stripes past the 42 for the race lead. While Bacalon extended his lead, number 60, Bob Bench Jr. was moving through traffic. Here he gets by Jason Bush for second. Benz had plenty of time to catch up to Bacalon. But on lap 14, the two make contact coming out of turn 4, sending Bacalon into the wall on the front stretch. This led to some discussions in the pits. After the restart, number 31, Matt Smith, and number 37, Paul Urso, were wall-to-wall for the lead. But Urso rides a tad too high into turn 2, and Bob Bench Jr. moves up to take second. Smith held Benz off for 5 laps. The 60 took the lead with just 3 laps to go. Smith and Urso lined up behind Benz as the Irwin PA driver took the win in the Jennerstown Speedway Modifieds.
Boy, every week you got to fight in this division. It was a good race. I might have been wrong, but I thought Mike came down on me. I'd have to see it on the tape. I know I was really pinching the bottom. I didn't mean to spin him out.
When a guy drives me that far around the corner, you got to either leave off eventually or we're going to wreck, and that's what happened. I wrecked, and I just spun out, caught the inside front straightaway wall, busted up a little bit of suspension, but no big deal. We'll be back next week, and maybe I'll get to pay him back.
Benz was followed by Matt Smith, Paul Urso, Jason Bush, and Brian Stevenson in the top 5. Mike Bacalon finished a disappointing 6th, and it cost him the points lead. Paul Urso leapt over Bacalon and now leads the modified division by 4 points. Matt Smith, Jason Bush, and Brian Stevenson round out the top 5 in the Jennerstown Speedway Modifieds division points. Now, on to the action of the Rolling Rock late models. At the start, number 11, Bobby Henry, pulled away from number 31, Mark Catone, and the rest of the field for the lead. By lap 7, number 60, Tommy Beck, had moved into the second place spot with number 75, Barry Audi, right behind him. Number 08, Steve Comer, was limping down the backstretch with mechanical problems. He made it into the pits, avoiding the need for a caution. A second later, Audi pulled alongside Beck and slid by him, taking second. It would take him 10 laps, but Audi eventually caught up to and passed Bobby Henry, taking the front spot. But he wouldn't have a chance to pull away with it. On lap 18, number 3, Mel Wilt, was stopped on the backstretch, bringing out the caution. Audi again took off with the lead on the restart. The 75 appeared to be running away with the race, but everyone would once again be slowed under caution. With 7 laps to go, number 92, Jamie Bolkovac, was spun on the backstretch. Once again, Audi took off with the lead, leaving number 11, Bobby Henry, number 98, Neil Brown, and the rest of the pack in his dust. They'd line up behind the 75 as Barry Audi went on to win the Rolling Rock Late Model feature. This was the Jenners, Pennsylvania drivers' 4th win of 2003 at Jennerstown.
This track changes a lot by temperature, and we just got to change it however the temperature drops off or not. And I mean, we went over, even though we didn't wreck last week, we went all over this car all week long, and it paid off.
Bobby Henry returned from 2 weeks of bad luck at Jennerstown to finish second.
I'll tell you, I feel real fortunate to get second. Starting up front helped me a lot because my car was absolutely, I think it was the worst car I had here all year, to be truthful about it. We had a couple of real bad weeks, and it cost us a lot of money to fix it, but we're going to take it a second. Like I said, we had not a real good car, but we got a lot of work to do.
Neil Brown and Chucky Kessler recovered from this incident to finish in the top 5.
Yeah, the crew did a great job. I can't say enough about them. The car was tore up. They took it to Michigan on Tuesday morning, and they put a new clip on it. We started on it Wednesday, got it one piece, and ended up finishing third tonight. The car's a little bit tight. We got to go home and work on it some more. We missed something. I don't know what we missed, but we'll find it.
Truthfully, Neil Brown's really been helping me, and even after last week with that incident we had, he's a good friend, and he still helped me, and I have to thank his crew and him, and my crew did an excellent job tonight.
Tommy Beck continued his consistent performance of top 5 finishes.
I think the car had a whole lot more of what it showed. The beginning was real good. Just the way our tire situation worked out and the way they have tires worked out, we were running the tires we ran in the 150 last week, so we were kind of expected to go away. I'm happy with the way it turned out, but whenever you finish second or back, you're not always happy.
Mark Smith, Mark Catone, Snooky Williams, Jeremiah Kuntz, and Dusty Rhodes make up the rest of the top 10 Rolling Rock late model finishers. Neil Brown continues to feel the effects of his 13th place finish 2 weeks ago. Barry Audi is now just 2 points away from Brown in the Rolling Rock late model points. Bobby Henry, Mark Catone, and Jamie Bolkovac round out the top 5. Neil Brown has also slipped into 3rd place in the NASCAR Dodge Weekly Series Northeast Division standings. There's still plenty of racing to do in 2003, so keep your eyes on the Silver Bullet at Jennerstown. Coming up tonight at the Laurel Highlands Oval, Wheeler, Pontiac, and Cadillac and Wheeler Trackside present the racing of the NASCAR Dodge Weekly Series. The Rolling Rock Late Models, the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailer Pro Trucks, the PA Legacy Series, and so much more. Plus, the Incredible Hulk will be making an appearance at Jennerstown Speedway. And here's the best part. Adult admission is just $5. Kids 12 and under are admitted for free. Race fans, you simply won't find a more affordable way to take your family out for a night of high-octane motorsport excitement. Plus, fans who come to Jennerstown Speedway tonight can save $5 on a ticket to the ASA Pennsylvania 250 if they buy their tickets tonight at Jennerstown. The summertime racing tradition is coming up next weekend at the Laurel Highlands Oval. Last year, Butch Miller took home the trophy from the Pennsylvania 300.
We had a really good car, and the car was especially good on long greens, and wouldn't fire right off.
But local crowd favorite Gary St. Amant made this claim.
Jennerstown 2003, that's Gary St. Amant's.
We'll have to see if he can live up to his claim next weekend when the ASA presents the Pennsylvania 250. I'm Steve Richard. Thanks for watching Chase to the Checkered. We'll be back next week, but we hope to see you tonight for $5 night at Jennerstown Speedway.